On today's video, we have Discotek's next tokusatsu release, one of my favorite mecha anime of all time, and two steps closer to answering the question, have they made all the Lupin? It's morphin' time! Hello, this is Soundout here, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about Discotek Media Blu-ray releases I picked up from July 2024. The frame that got slightly out of focus. Anyways, these four releases are what I picked up. This isn't everything Discotek released in July of 2024. They've been kind of doing this thing lately where they'll put out more titles simultaneously, but they're doing like every other month instead of every single month, which I'm honestly cool with. Helps balance the budget a little bit. But we got Mobile Cop Jiban, the next in the Metal Hero series, Mazinkaiser, a classic mecha anime that many have been clamoring for, plus Lupin III, Princess of the Breeze, and The Secret Page of Marco Polo, two more TV specials. And in this video, we're going to kind of discuss each release, but in terms of the Lupin, we're going to discuss more how much Lupin is left to be released on Blu-ray, period. Because it may not be as much as you think. Plus, we're going to, of course, talk about why I love Mazinkaiser, and we're going to take a look at Jiban in relation to the other Metal Hero releases, plus talk about what's been announced at their recent Discotek Day in relation to these franchises. If you enjoy this type of video, please hit the like button as well as subscribe and the notification bell. Really helps support the channel, gets this video out to more people, and grows the audience that we have here. So let's take a look at these releases. So let's start with Lupin, because I think I don't talk Lupin as a major topic on the channel the way I do like Toku and robots. So let's begin. These two specials are the two newest specials to make it to Blu-ray from Discotek Media. We got The Secret Page of Marco Polo. This is special 23 from 2012. You can see Lupin in red jacket up here, nice logo, and on this side we've got character from the special that I have not watched. I will be perfectly honest, I haven't watched all my Lupin Blu-rays yet, and I also have not watched these yet. I just got them. So we got this going on. I love that you have the original Japanese title in both the katakana and English on the back. It helps for consistency when you're looking things up, which is really, really nice, and I always love that. This does contain television promotional videos, liner notes, and it's subtitled in English for the first time. It is Japanese audio only. This was one that was not dubbed, nor did TMS feel like it needed to be dubbed. Much like the other Lupin specials, this has the full-length poster on the inside, which is really, really cool. And really do like that. We're not going to look at the menus on this because the menus are basically the same on all the Lupin specials, and I'm more concerned with talking about how much Lupin is left than these individual releases. But, you know, it's from what I can tell, because I always take a look at discs, these are really solid releases. It's Discotek. I would expect nothing less. Here we have Television Special 24 from 2013, Princess of the Breeze. It has the horrifying baby. This baby has a turtle beak. Ain't that lovely? Just let that sear into your mind right there. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it? Okay, we ran out of zoom lens. Anyways, so this special is, you know, just another special. They did these annually. So what was the thing is, like, Lupin the Third, like Scooby-Doo, they make so much of it, you're not exactly sure what's good and what's not. You kind of just have to open the box to find out. Schrodinger's franchise, if you would. Another character art here. On the back, you know, it's the same thing, Lupin case file. This is about this special. This is also another Japanese with English subtitles, no English dub. Promotional videos, liner notes, and subtitled English for the first time. It was originally called Princess of the Breeze, The Skyward Hidden City. So there you go. So let's, again, like I said, these are two more additions to the Lupin special collection. Some people don't collect the specials. That's valid. In the ones I've seen, it can be very hit or miss. But let's talk about where we're at with Lupin. I think we should start with the specials because Discotek recently announced that Special 25 is coming out in September. That is the last special they've never released, which is amazing because there's 27 of these damn things. And I do mean that sort of hostily, 27 of these damn things, because I have like almost all of them. So what I've done in my personal Lupin collecting is I've stuck to just the Blu-rays because Blu-rays are my thing. Discotek does not print DVDs anymore, so any of the stuff that's DVD only from them is just out of print because they just don't make DVDs anymore. And honestly, they're based for that. Is that the right term? Am I using young people terms correctly? I'm approaching 30, okay? So be warned, the channel may get weird the next couple years. But anyways, so weird in terminology, not weird in anything else. I keep my same fun vibe. But anyways, the point is that there's been 27 Lupin specials. Discotek will have released all of them in September when Special 25 comes out. Please note I don't have Special 20. There was nothing else that month, and I was like, oh, I'll order it with the July titles, and it sold out on Crunchyroll store. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll order it with the September titles. So this is the thing, is that they've released all of them, but let's get these inserted. This is a 23 and 24. We'll put it between 22 and 26. Yep, because 25 is coming out later. I'm not doing these individually. You guys get to look at the stack. So here is every Lupin TV special Discotek has released on Blu-ray. Also, big shout out. I forget the name of the packaging artist. I can't remember. He's always on streams. I apologize. Big shout out to the fact that these look like these have come out over a very extended period of time, and they're 100% lined up. They're super consistent, and I very, very much appreciate this because I'm one of those weird spine nuts who's like, I gotta have the spines match. I mean, I bought stuff just to match spines. Okay, so look at this. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I probably have ever seen in Blu-rays. So the question is, what are we missing? Well, outside of missing Special 20, because I need to get that in, 2, 3, 4, 13, and 15 are the only 5 that aren't on Blu-ray. Because we have 1, and then we have 5, so we need 2, 3, 4. We got 6, we got 7, we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need 13, there's 14, we need 15, there's 16, 17, 18, 19. I need to get 20. 20 exists. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 comes out in September, 26, 27. So we just need 5 specials to be re-released in Blu-ray, and that's it. Funny part too, 2 of these are Blu-ray and DVD combo packs, Voyage to Danger and Island of Assassins. That's pretty cool too to have those, but 5 left. So hopefully they can work that out. I kind of have confidence they will, because who does all this and not just completes the set in some way, right? Okay, so those 5 cover the specials. Now let's talk about the TV shows, because that's, I would think, kind of the next step. What are we missing TV show-wise? Okay, so Discotek has released Part 1, Part 3, Part 4 in both its English and Japanese versions, and Part 5, and then Sentai Filmworks has released Lupin Part 6 and Lupin 0. I haven't picked up Lupin 0. I figure it'll go on sale at some point, Sentai Filmworks. There is, of course, the gap. What about Lupin the Third Part 2? Well, that is 155 episodes, so I can imagine that is a huge undertaking. Now, Discotek did say they have more Lupin to do. They're not quitting just because they finished the TV specials, and that there will be a big announcement in the future, but no clue as to what that is. I'll leave that all for you to speculate. But Part 2, 155 episodes, I imagine if they were to be able to do it on Blu-ray, I don't know if they are able. If they were, it would be like 3 volumes, because we had 50 episodes for Part 3. Might have to be 3 volumes. Okay, movies. Let's talk about the movies. So from Discotek, we've gotten movie 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. And from Shout Factory G Kids, we have gotten Lupin the Third, the First. So in terms of theatrical movies, we are missing the Fuma Conspiracy on Blu-ray. I have to imagine, since Discotek, I don't know if Discotek's done Fuma Conspiracy before, I can't remember exactly, but I have to imagine we're going to get that. I do not think we're going to see any more Lupin on 4K besides Castle Cagliostro, because I think it's the only movie that's notable enough to justify that. But with Discotek having labeled the movies, Mamo is 1, Cagliostro 2, Gold of Babylon 3, and then the Farewell Nostradamus is 5, and Dead or Alive is 6. I have to imagine Fuma Conspiracy is 4. Some places listed as an OVA, and to be honest, I just don't know for sure how accurate that is. Speaking of OVAs, we did get the OVA Return of Pikel, which was listed as OVA 1, Original Video Animation 1. This was done in the same style as the spines for the specials, but really appreciated. We don't have OVA 2, which is Green versus Red. Discotek did a DVD of it, but we don't have it on Blu-ray. We do have OVA 3, which was Is Lupin Burning? That was included in the Part 5 Blu-ray, which is pretty nice. Now, in terms of other things that are missing, the 1969 pilot film, which was on Discotek's DVD release of Lupin the Third Part 1, was not allowed to be put in with the Blu-ray for Part 1. No idea why. Hopefully, we can still get that movie on Blu-ray. In terms of the darker, more mature spin-off, that started with the woman called Fujiko Mine that had the movies Jigen's Greystone, Goemon's Blood Spray, and Fujiko's Lie. We have all those on Blu-ray from Discotek, so that little subsection is complete. Plus, we have the crossover Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan. We have the special and the movie. That is also a complete subset. In terms of crossovers, we're missing Lupin the Third versus Cat's Eye. Not sure if that would go to Discotek or Sentai Filmworks, as it is a more recent thing, but it also was produced for Amazon Prime Video, so we'll see if we see it at all. And at that point, what we're left with is the 3 live-action movies. Strange Psychokinetic Strategy, which Discotek did release a DVD of back in the day, Lupin the Third from 2014, and the recent Amazon Prime exclusive film, Jigen Daisuke. So, what are we missing for Lupin is the 1969 pilot film, the Part 2 TV series, which I think would be 3 releases, the 3 live-action films, the 5 missing specials, the OVA 2, and Lupin vs. Cat's Eye, so about 14 more releases. Now, it does sound like a lot, but when you consider that Lupin the Third has been going on in adapted form since 1969, this is impressive that we only are missing that many releases. In fact, the fact that we have a bunch of these on DVD means it's not too bad. But that is it, guys. That is what is missing from Lupin. The 69 pilot film, the Part 2 TV series, the 4th movie, the 3 live actions, 5 specials that are needing Blu-ray upgrades, 1 OVA needing a Blu-ray upgrade, and Lupin vs. Cat's Eye. And that is super duper impressive. I know I repeated the list like 3 times, so I just wanted to drill that in. So if anyone's wondering how much Lupin is left that hasn't been released on Blu-ray from Discotek or others, send them right to this video, because I just laid it all out. As far as I can tell, that is everything, and until the next Lupin project, but this is amazing. This is also a huge space taker if you want to collect everything. But I'm doing it. I'm doing all the Blu-rays. I'm not going to go back to any DVDs, but I will do all the Blu-rays, and long live Lupin. So Mazinkaiser, this is an OVA series that a lot of people love, including myself. And this, I've been waiting for Discotek to give me for years. It's kind of weird to say that because it's not like nothing's guaranteed, right? I was just hoping for the longest time that Discotek would get to do Mazinkaiser. Just like I was hoping for the longest time they got to do Leisner and Albegas. And it's just kind of like Discotek's giving me dreams. Dreams come true this year. I really appreciate it. So, Mazinkaiser, let's talk about it as a property. So, Mazinkaiser is a spin-off of Mazinger Z. So, Mazinger Z, of course, classic mecha anime, kind of started the Super Robot boom in a lot of ways, or at least most people point to it as starting the Super Robot boom. This was Go Nagai and his weird, crazy zaniness. But the thing is that Go Nagai is that he's kind of a strange artist in a lot of ways, and I think that's why his works are fascinating. This series from the 70s, if you notice I'm flashing around the DVDs, I just talked about Blu-rays with Lupin. I was like, oh, I really love Blu-rays, and here I am, not owning the Blu-rays of Mazinger Z. Classic show. Iconic show. Not one I've ever been able to sit all the way through. I think I made it about a disc into Volume 2. This show does not age super well to me personally, and again, it's classic. It was made in the early 70s. Like, it's not the show's fault. For me personally, it just doesn't age super well, so I haven't felt like rebuying it. You know, that's $100 or so that I don't want to spend on a show I didn't even finish my head on DVD. Anyways, point is, classic show. Discotek did release this. It had its sequel series, Great Mazinger, which I have not seen. I kind of feel like just jumping to like the last episode of Mazinger Z and watching Great Mazinger. Discotek also did an SD Blu-ray of Great Mazinger. And then there was this follow-up movie, Mazinger Z Infinity, which was made many, many years later, actually only a few years ago. That was kind of like your original Mazinger timeline. There was a remake series, Mazinger Edition Z, The Impact, which Discotek did do a Blu-ray of this. I actually really like this show. This is my preferred Mazinger Z. It's kind of a reimagining of both Mazinger and Great Mazinger. A lot of cool stuff in there. Really did like that one. I don't know if I loved it enough to buy a Blu-ray, like go back and rebuy it on Blu-ray, but there's the DVD. And then that brings us to Mazinkaiser. So Mazinkaiser is kind of a sub-franchise. This is ostensibly like, I don't know how to describe it. It kind of acts as an alternate sequel. So if you sort of ignore, you know, this is a remake, essentially. This was a proper sequel that goes with the continuity of these shows. This sort of works as a different kind of sequel, but it doesn't really fit. It feels like its own continuity where a lot of the events that happened here still happened. That being said, Mazinger gets upgraded to Mazinkaiser. We get this really cool design. It debuted in Super Robot Wars, the video game, and then this OVA was sort of made to go, what is the story of Mazinkaiser? And I adore the Mazinkaiser design. I absolutely love it. I mean, and this is no disrespect to Mazinger Z or Great Mazinger. I love them. I also really like Grandizer's design. I wish somebody could get to license that so I could actually watch it. But Mazinkaiser is just so cool. It's just such a great, like, let's go back to a classic design, just amp it up, make it even better, and that's what I love about it. And what's really, like, when I say that, like, I was really praying for this release, Discotek released Mazinkaiser vs. Great General of Darkness, which is a remake of one of the Mazinger Z films, which have never been licensed before. There's a lot of weird licensing gaps in Mazinger. It's kind of funny looking at this compared to Lupin, where we're just talking about, hey, we're only missing a couple things. Mazinkaiser vs. Great General of Darkness is not connected to Mazinkaiser, like, officially. It is a movie that's connected to it, but much like how the Mazinger Z vs. Great General of Darkness movie wasn't really in canon with that original anime series, this doesn't really fit the canon of the Mazinkaiser series. Kind of works as a standalone. But Discotek released this. They even produced a brand new English dub for it. And that was really cool. But you know what? The thing that was sitting on the edge of my lips was, but what about the original OVA? And so I had a feeling when they announced this was coming. Because it would have just been cruel to do this and not do this. But these two, you can put them on the shelf together if you like that. There you go. And there also was another Mazinkaiser project called Mazinkaiser Skull, which I don't believe Go Nagai was directly involved with, even though she really looks like a Go Nagai design. This was essentially, what if you took Mazinkaiser and then just, like, ran it through a heavy metal record and then spit it out the other side to see what it looked like, and I unabashedly love this. Mazinkaiser Skull is actually the first Mazinger-related anime that I ever watched, which is a weird place to start, but it really goes to show you can start anywhere. This freaking crazy show. Anyways, this was produced by Media Blasters. This Blu-ray was several years ago. I don't know if it's still in print, but yeah, so if you're going for all the Mazinkaiser anime, there's the three of those. So the Mazinger franchise, for me, I love it. I love Mazinger. I love a lot of the characters. I love a lot of the works. But if I was going to say, if I had to pick, what was your favorite Mazinger anime? As much as this was my baby to start this whole thing off, as much as I do love Skull, it's kind of an incoherent mess unless you watch it 6 times. Mazinkaiser, I think, is my absolute favorite Mazinger anime. So because of that, I'm very, very excited that this is here. Now let's get all this other stuff out of the way. Stuff I do love, but just not as much as I love this. Okay. So I'm so excited that this is finally out. This is the entire 7 OVA series. It's on Blu-ray. It has an English dub, which is, I believe, ADV. I don't remember. It's a pre-existing dub. It has the Japanese language. It has English subtitles. Mazinger meets Dr. Hell on Earth. It has clean endings and TV commercials, so not a whole lot of bonus material. Total runtime of 200 minutes. This is the kind of thing that you have like a nice long evening to yourself and you could just watch the entire thing. At least that's what I can do because I love it. All right, so on the inner cover, we have a shot. So this shot out here, we have Mazinkaiser, we got Koji Kabuto, Dr. Hell, that sort of thing. On the inside, we actually have Great Mazinger and Tetsuya. So this kind of shows, like I was saying, it was like kind of like an alternate universe sequel. It does have Great Mazinger in it. Which is pretty cool. So I like that they put the 2 pilots that way. Oh, I did forget to show the spine in detail. It does have Koji on his bike there. It is just, it's everything that I think is great about Mazinger Z, but just amped up even further. Interesting choice, though, to put Tetsuya on the disc and not Koji. But I think, look, I can just say this based on this. I think they had trouble getting art assets for this one. Just a guess. Usually when Discotek covers look a little weird, it's because they just didn't have art assets available. But this is the entire OVA series. I absolutely love this show. But of course, we have to ask the question, the dreaded question, what if the release is bad? Okay, we're going to take a look at it, and I'll tell you it's good. But let's go take a look at see how the disc looks. So here's the disc for Mazinkaiser. They use the art on the interior, the one with Tetsuya and Great Mazinger. Again, kind of a weird choice, but art assets are art assets. You have Play All, we have episodes. I should note, because I didn't talk about this on the disc itself, while the original Mazinger Z is a kid show from the 70s in Japan, so it's not like I would show it to young kids, but still a kid show, this is definitely more adult, this is definitely more adult aimed. though I'd put it in that late teen category. You're like, your 15 to 17-year-olds would be okay kind of thing. One of the biggest things is that there is an episode, I think it's episode 4, it's very much the fan service beach episode, and it has one of the most beautiful fan service moments of all time in the fact that it was animated so delicately, and I believe it was described on Discotek as the way things happened, it was like watching a suspension bridge collapse. And if you've never seen it, at some point you got to see it in your life, okay? The show is great. It's a very tongue-in-cheek episode. It's not done tastelessly. It's done very much for the comedy. So on that note, the setup, we have the English 5.1, Japanese 5.1, Japanese 2.0. You get full English subtitles or signs and song subtitles or off. Notice how all that is just in 6 options. Other companies could learn. Extras, we have, of course, Clean Ending 1, Clean Ending 2, and TV commercials. The series is presented in HD. I do believe it is an upscale. It's not crystal clear sharp, but this is the best it has ever looked, and take my word for it, because I love this show. Also, the subtitles, of course, classic yellow font with nice, bold black backing, so they're always easy to be seen. Song lyrics are presented in blue with italics. Very cool as well is that the episode titles and also the next time chapter cards are in a similar font to what was used for the Japanese katakana. So overall, great presentation on a series I really like, and it looks like it's the best it could have ever looked, and the subtitle work is very well done, plus you had that classic English dub, so just an overall fantastic disc. Discotek has given us Just Beyond, Cutie Honey the Live, Space Sheriff Gavan, Kamen Rider Black, Kamen Rider Black RX, Space Sheriff Charavan, and now Mobile Cop Jiban. They have done a lot of Toku, and they're not done, by the way, guys. In case you missed the news, they are doing Space Sheriff Scheider, and also Android Kikaider, Kamen Rider V3, and Winspector. They announced all those, like, in the same live stream event, and I kind of lost my mind a little bit. Incredible stuff. Absolutely love this. So, I don't have to sit here and speculate as to what the next Metal Hero Blu-ray will be. It'll be Scheider in September, which is amazing. But let's talk about Jiban. Let's get all these guys out of the way. We've already talked about them before. Let's talk about Jiban. So, Mobile Cop Jiban is a standalone Metal Hero series. So for those unaware, the Metal Hero series is structured a little different than some other Toku franchises. Like Kamen Rider and Sentai, pretty much every show's standalone unless you have like a Black RX situation. But with Metal Hero, there's these groups. You got the Space Sheriff groups, the Rescue Hero groups, the B-Fighters. Jiban's one of the standalone guys. He kind of just works on his own. Now, his series lasted 52 episodes, and he did have a movie. What's awkward is that this is a poster for the movie, I believe, and the movie's not included. It is only the 52 episodes, so shake your fist with me. Curse you, Toei! It's most likely a licensing issue. Now, will later down the line there be a Metal Hero movie collection that allows us to get Jiban's movie as well as others? Possibly, because Scheider is missing his 2 movies as well. We'll talk about that when we talk about Scheider in September. But this is all 52 episodes in standard definition. It is not an HD remaster, but it looks pretty good, and we'll talk about that as well. And on the inside cover here, you got a shot of Jiban and some of the supporting cast and some of the villains, which is pretty cool. I do love the spine, because the spine, you know, it's still an SD Blu-ray, but it does have the Toku Time logo now since they've got their own little branding. The retro future of law enforcement, kind of a RoboCop vibe to it. It is 52 episodes on one disc, for those not aware of standard definition on Blu-ray. It's exactly how it sounds. You're getting standard definition video on one Blu-ray disc. So this is going to contain all 52 episodes on a single disc, making it super easy to watch through it. I've been watching my SD Blu-ray of Albegos, and it's kind of nice. I don't have to eject the disc at all. I can just keep going to the next episode. On the inside cover here is an expanded view of that poster art for the front cover. Like a lot of people have been pointing out, this is the monster from Jiban's movie. So, again, art assets, as we talked about in this video, especially Mazinkaiser, art assets are always going to be limited when it comes from Toei. And also other publishers, because Mazinkaiser wasn't Toei, but here we are. So Jiban is looking pretty spiffy from the outside, but let's take a look at the disc itself and the contents within. So on the menu for Jiban, we got this nice shot of the logo, a great explosion, and Jiban himself. There is the theme song playing. You have a play all option, which, hey, go for it. Just hit pause to put your player into sleep mode and you're good to go. Also episodes, of course, it is broken down into 13 episode chunks, much like a lot of the SD Blu-ray series we've seen from Discotek. You can navigate through all of them through multiple pages, which is pretty cool. Subtitles, on or off. And then for extras, we have the series preview, which is like a little pre-series preview thing, and an art gallery. And this is really cool, because usually the SD Blu-ray shows don't get art galleries and such, but we do have a nice collection of photos and images from the series itself, in addition to some of the promotional material, which is super, super cool. Of course, video presentation is still in SD, but honestly, it looks pretty good. It's not HD by any means, but it looks a lot better than even Just Beyond did. You got, of course, a nice font face for the logos. Always appreciate those little details the Discotek team puts in. Of course, there are sign subtitles for when you have signs on screen, and songs will be subtitled in the corner in italicized blue subtitles. They even sub the logo when it pops up for the eye catch. Of course, the subtitles dialogue are in the classic yellow font with bold black backing, so you can always see those subs. Honestly, considering the age of the show and the fact this is only in SD, the video quality is really good. Like, it just, some shots are super crystal clear, some shots are a little bit grainier when it comes to, like, your VFX shots, but I'm super impressed. This is one of the best looking SD Blu-ray shows I've ever seen. So overall, just a great release. While it is a slight bummer that it's not in HD like the Space Sheriffs are, it honestly doesn't feel like it needs it. The SD Blu-ray looks really good. There are, of course, some shots that could be touched up, but, you know, without the masters, what's the point? This is looking fantastic. It has bonus features. It's an excellent release. Don't let the SD Blu-ray thing scare you away. This is a great release of Jiban. So where on your shelf should Jiban go? Well, of course, after Just Beyond. So we have Space Sheriff Gavan, the first series, Charavan, the second series. As we've now seen, Scheider will be coming out in September, filling that gap. That'll be the third series. Interesting to note with Scheider, it was partially adapted to VR Troopers, so it is showing that just because it was adapted to a Saban production in the 90s doesn't mean it's blocked from being licensed to Discotek, which is a plus. So, Scheider. After Scheider is Just Beyond. We are still missing Spielbahn and Metalder and Jiraiya before we get to Jiban. And then after Jiban will be what Discotek was releasing after Scheider, which is Winspector, and that starts the Rescue Police series that also contains Soulbrain and Exceed Draft. Then there's Jan Person, Blue SWAT, and then Juko B-Fighter and B-Fighter Kabuto. Plus, if you're fancy, you'll include B-Robo Kabutak and Tetsuan Tante Robotak as two other series, which people don't usually include with Metal Hero. But we're getting along the way. There also is some newer movies that tie into Sentai stuff, so we'll see if we actually get to see those. And there also is movies for Scheider and Jiban that are currently missing in action. But that being said, these are our 4 Metal Hero series so far. I do wish I had the slipcover for Just Beyond. Just Beyond has been listed as out of print on Discotek's website, so maybe a new printing could be coming in the future, maybe with a Toku time label to line it all up or something in that same vein. We'll see, but you know, if you're looking for Just Beyond, I'd say get it sooner than later. But this is really nice to see. We got 4 Metal Hero shows. We got confirmation of up to 6 so far. And for what is very much a looked-over franchise by the Western Tokusatsu fandom, which, I mean, okay, it's fair. There's a lot of, you know, Kamen Rider, Sentai, and Ultraman to keep us busy. But this is one of the franchises that has kind of gone by the wayside. Also thanks to Toei. And it's nice to see it get some love from Discotek Media here. So this is a pretty solid lineup for July. 2 more Lupin specials for the pile, Mazinkaiser, one of my favorite animes that I really was looking forward to, and Jiban, expanding our Metal Hero collection. September will be a little bit lighter for me. I'm pretty much just going to pick up the next Lupin special, plus the one I missed, and Scheider, but there are other releases in September and beyond. So if you want to make sure you keep up with things on this channel, be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed this type of video so you can tell me you want to see more like this. I kind of like doing these, like, sort of grab bag, but they're still themed, like Discotek stuff, but we talk about 3 completely different things. That's super fun to me. Also be sure to hit the comments down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, that sort of thing. Do appreciate engaging in the conversation. Also, if you want to keep up with Discotek news, I cover all their news on my live streams every Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern here on this YouTube channel. And if you want to continue discussing Blu-rays for anime, Toku, and more, check our Discord server in the link below. Come hang out, join the discussion. It's always a great time. Also, be sure to check out the channel memberships. You can join for as little as $1 a month. There are perks like member-exclusive live streams, early access to videos, and special shoutouts. let's give some special shoutouts right now. Special shout out to our channel members, including our Captain Tiers, Spin-54, Super Shaddix Boom, Tom McKay, Master Ben 95, Swapsito 14, Mohammed Faiz Daniel, SSJ4 Jason, Scrublord Gaming, and Psycho O's. And thank you to everybody who helps support the channel through the channel memberships as well as watching the videos. If you so wish, you can find me across most social media platforms at Soundout12. You can also find my awesome graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClaws643. And you can find Hero Club at hero-club.com for Toku and anime interviews, news, and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.